Welcome back. So first things first, we're going to talk about Team Black Miner version 1.40. It's really quick. There's just two little improvements they have listed here. Fix a build issue on AMD rigs and tiny improvement in the CUDA kernel. So there you go. That is the latest from Team Black Miner version 1.40. As far as development for that miner, it seems to be very like frequent small changes all the time. Nothing really big or anything crazy going on there. Now, before we get into all the graphics card news, let's talk about this crazy find by basically somebody that was solo mining on 2miners.com. So if you guys didn't know, you can solo mine through 2miners.com on their Ethereum solo pool. Solo mining is very difficult because essentially you have to compete with the entire rest of the network to find a block. And then if you find a block, there's no guarantee that it will pay more than 2 ETH in general. So it apparently took about 25 days of mining for this particular miner. They have 2.1 gigahash on there, and they are now into life-changing money. As you can see here, what we have essentially is a block that was found within the last 24 hours. You can see here the current hash rate is 2.18 gigahash a second. And they have 6 workers online. You can see Rigo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of totaling out to that average hash rate of 2.17 gigahash a second. And that has resulted in finding a block for 168 ETH. That totals out to $546,000. Which is insane. So the reason this happens is like usually really highly traded blocks that end up having a ton of fees within them, which clearly is what was happening here. And the miner found it and then essentially was able to get paid out all those fees that were included in the block. This is not happening as much as it has in the past. If you took a look at the Ethereum solo pool, most of the blocks, the solo blocks are 2, right? 2 ETH. That's kind of what you're looking at. Even if you do recent payouts, you have a couple for 6 ETH, you know, one for 8 ETH here. Here's one for 11. But sometimes when these bots get a little wild, these MEV trading bots, which I'm actually not even sure this is an MEV, an additional MEV block either. I don't know if there's a way we could tell. I don't know. Let me know if you guys know how we can tell if MEV was included in this block. Like on this page, you can see what the MEV was. But once you go to recent payouts here, it's not telling us what the miner extracted value was here. I assume there probably had to have been, right? To a certain extent. So it's pretty insane. That is the biggest block I've seen on solo. I don't know if it's necessarily a record. Now, the record largest block ever was 218 Ethereum. So should you just move your entire farm over to solo mining? Probably not, because it really depends here. Like I kind of tweeted about it in jest, obviously, and quoted and said like, oh, I should just move my whole farm over. Here's the caveat or the problems with that. 1, I have to cover power, right? 2, I have to cover rent. And for most of y'all, I'm assuming that both of those things are true for y'all as well. You need to cover power, you need to cover rent. So if you need to cover those things, you can't necessarily go out and start solo mining with not enough hash to actually be reasonably certain that you would hit a block that is going to cover, well, your rent, etc. So from my perspective, right, I guess you could work it out in a manner where you mine on a pool until you have paid your fees or whatever, and then hop over to solo mining and see what your luck is. If you're a home miner right now, though, and you're reasonably okay on the power costs or whatnot, maybe, right? I think, though, at the same time, just solo mining Flux is kind of the same deal, but you don't have these big, like, lottery pulls, right? This is basically playing the lotto. If you hit it, you know, you become a $500,000 and done. Like, incredible. So once again, as far as how the blocks are possible, because I do see that question again, basically what happens is bidding wars end up happening, which drive up the cost of the transactions and drive up the cost of the transactioning happening first. Usually this is like either in like, not usually with quick purchases, but usually when liquidating. But what it ends up happening is essentially people are trying to get their transaction solved within that block before somebody else solves theirs, or their transaction is complete, to basically usually either buy ETH at lower and then sell it back in the same block for more to somebody else, or vice versa, right? Sell the ETH for more and buy it back for less in the same block. So that's kind of essentially how that functions at the end of the day, as far as like how those blocks end up being so much. But this was by far the biggest one I've seen on solo, so I wanted to share it with you guys. The original shout out that I should give here is going to go to, where is he? Yeah, Crafted Crypto. I don't know if he, but you can follow him on Twitter. And I'll give you guys his Twitter info, because he's how I found out about it. And I like to give credit where credit's due, as we can, right? All right. Yeah, 300 mega hash won't do a lot on solo, but it may do a lot on like a solo on Flux or something. But then again, you're still playing the lottery over there as well. So that's kind of the deal. That was the largest I've ever seen personally. I don't know if you guys have seen a bigger one. Let me know. But yeah, at the time it was at $558,000. Right now it's showing less. I guess we're experiencing a dump in Ethereum as we speak. Yes, we certainly are. It looks like we are down to $3,238 for Ethereum right now. So it has gone down. Is Cardano really soaring? No. And not soaring. I don't know. Maybe we could say it's soaring. We got that great Monday dip coming in, boys. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.